Maus 1 and 2. A story about struggle, about love, and death. Nazis Germany 1939. To many the beginning of prosperity, a new and powerful Germany. To many more, it was just the beginning of death and destruction. On September 1st, 1939, without any formal declaration of war, Germany invaded Poland, beginning the Second World War. This left many people displaced. Jewish businesses were closed, and on December 23rd, Vladek Spiegelman was no exception to this. Vladek and his father-in-law owned their own factories. These were taken and given to Germany, leaving the family with very little influence and very little income. Begun now the Nazi oppression of World War II. Europe, especially Poland, was decimated. Families were torn apart, armies were left destroyed, and the bodies of women and children laid on the streets. Hitler despised the Jews and thought of them as the root of all the German nation's problems. With a displaced and horrified population, the Jews were much easier to control. The Nazi Party's next step was to move all the Jews into ghettos. These ghettos were worn-down housing projects where many were left without rations of food and water. Many died of starvation, and many were murdered. Vladek also was no exception to this, as he spent many months in the ghetto section of Sosnowiec. What the Jewish of Sosnowiec and across Europe did not know was that this was only the tip of the iceberg. The atrocities of World War II will soon become apparent. These ghettos really were just a confined area for Hitler's real master plan, the total extermination of the Jewish people. Hitler's ultimate plan, written in Mein Kampf, which means my struggle or my fight in German, was the total eradication of the Jewish people from Germany and from the world. This plan was to murder families, husbands and wives, dentists and doctors. This was to kill all the Jewish people and erase them from history. Hitler's tool for his plan was his death camps. In his camps, the Nazis instantly murdered people by the millions. Gas chambers and crematories is what was left for the people here. The few Jews that survived the train to the death camp were killed within the hour. They were fooled into believing they were taking showers, but their showers were really filled with toxic Zyklon B. This gas killed many within the seconds, and the poor ones that survived died within minutes. Zyklon B is really a pesticide. Fittingly, Hitler thought of the Jewish as pests. He used this pesticide to kill over 6 million Jews in Europe. However, the atrocities did not end here. Within these death camps, the Nazis killed many through cruel medical experiments. Some of these experiments were used to enhance the Nazi soldiers, some were to change eye color, and some were just plain cruel. In Maus 2, Vladek retells his account at the most disturbing camp of them all, Auschwitz. It was in Auschwitz that over 3 million people lost their lives. They were shipped, processed, and killed. This is Vladek's real chronicle of being taken to Auschwitz.
But after 3 days they took us out from prison. Everybody who had to go to Auschwitz. And outside was standing a closed bus without windows, with opened a very small, 2 tiny small windows. In the truck we were all together, our mother and women, men, everybody together. We were sure that we are going to be finished. We knew that we were going to Auschwitz.
And you knew that Auschwitz was a death camp?
Yes, but we knew that we'll go there and we'll not come out anymore. This we knew. That will gas us and burn us and all.
Did you know about the showers?
Yes, sure.
Everybody
We knew
knew about
everything. Later, it was very late in season. The war started in 1939 and this was 1943 already. And we knew everything what was going on. Till 43 I was in ghettos and hiding. From 43 when they finished everything, then I came to Auschwitz.
It was an endless cycle of death and disease and depression in Auschwitz. Hardly any made it out alive. To survive, you needed to be smart and witty, just like Vladek was. Vladek made it out with his intelligence, his conservative nature, and luck. To be sent to the left after leaving the trains at Auschwitz meant instant death from the showers and crematory, and to be sent to the right meant forced labor. Both really meant death, but the latter was just more delayed. Vladek, of course, was sent to the right and survived the chambers, but was forced to work very hard. Everyone in the chambers was hard to trust, but to make friends could save your life, and this is exactly what Vladek did to survive. He made friends in many places, and it was delayed his death to the end of the war. Other Jews were not so lucky. Many died right before Auschwitz was liberated by Soviet troops on January 27. The deaths of Auschwitz and the persecutions of the Jewish made it an everlasting footprint on the timeline of human history. Though many perished, it is in the survivors that we reflect on the past mistakes of the world and learn from them. The atrocities of World War II will never be forgotten, and with people like Art and Vladek Spiegelman and the beauty of literature, we need not to. As we begin to get a better understanding of the past, we as a human race will begin our change of our future, and we will have peace.